Ed Gein is one of the most infamous names in American true crime. Though his confirmed murders were few, the horrors discovered inside his farmhouse in 1957 shocked the world and inspired countless works of fiction, including Psycho, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and The Silence of the Lambs. This is the story of Ed Gein, the so-called Butcher of Plainfield. It was the morning of November 16, 1957, in Plainfield, Wisconsin, a farming community of barely 680 people. Main Street was lined with a hardware store, a barber, a candy shop, and a post office, the bare essentials for rural life. That morning, most of the men were away on the first day of deer season. But one man, Ed Gein, had other plans. Ed Gein was a quiet, strange man, known for odd jobs around town. At 8 a.m., he left his dilapidated farmhouse and drove into Plainfield. At Worden's hardware store, Bernice Worden, age 58, was working alone. Gein asked about antifreeze, and after she filled his jug and wrote a receipt, he returned minutes later, asking to see a rifle. While Bernice looked away, Gein loaded a bullet from his pocket and shot her in the head. He locked the store, dragged her body out back, and loaded it into her son's truck. Later that afternoon, her son Frank returned from hunting to find the shop closed, lights still on, and blood on the floor. A receipt for antifreeze was the last transaction, and the name on it was Ed Gein. That evening, police entered Gein's barn. Hanging from a meat hook was the mutilated, decapitated body of Bernice Worden. What investigators found inside Gein's farmhouse was beyond comprehension. Bowls made from human skulls, chairs upholstered with human skin, a belt decorated with nipples, a lampshade stitched from a human face, boxes filled with body parts, masks made from preserved skin. It was clear that Gein had been robbing graves for years and possibly murdering women who resembled his late mother, Augusta. To understand Ed Gein, we must return to his childhood. He was born in 1906 to George and Augusta Gein. His father was an alcoholic, and his mother, a strict and fanatically religious woman, ruled the household with cruelty. She despised women, calling them sinful and corrupt, and instilled this belief in Ed from an early age. Isolated on a remote farm, Ed grew up shy, socially awkward, and entirely devoted to his mother. When she died in 1945, Ed was devastated. Her death left him unmoored, consumed by loneliness and grief. Ed's older brother, Henry, saw Augusta for who she really was, controlling and abusive. He often criticized her and worried about Ed's unhealthy attachment to her. In 1944, while fighting a brush fire on the farm, Henry was found dead under suspicious circumstances. Though his death was ruled accidental, he had head trauma inconsistent with smoke inhalation. Many believe Ed killed his brother to eliminate the only critic of his devotion to their mother. After Augusta's death, Ed sealed off her rooms as shrines, leaving them untouched. He lived in squalor, surviving on canned food and odd jobs. But at night, he visited local cemeteries. Between 1947 and 1954, he admitted to exhuming bodies, stealing skin and body parts from women who resembled his mother. He crafted suits, masks, and furniture from their remains. Attempts to become Augusta once more, though only 2 murders were proven, Mary Hogan in 1954 and Bernice Worden in 1957. Investigators suspect Ed of more. Several people went missing in Wisconsin during that time, including a babysitter named Evelyn Hartley in 1953. While never proven, the number of body parts in Gein's home suggests more victims than he admitted. When questioned, Gein first denied responsibility, then confessed to killing Worden and Hogan, claiming he had blacked out during the murders. He admitted to grave robbing but remained evasive about other crimes. In 1958, his farmhouse was burned to the ground, likely to prevent it becoming a macabre tourist attraction. His car was later displayed in carnivals as the Ghoul Car. Declared insane, Gein was committed to a mental hospital. In 1968, he was tried for Bernice Worden's murder, found guilty but legally insane, and returned to the asylum. He remained there until his death in 1984, aged 77. Ed Gein's crime shocked 1950s America and left an enduring mark on popular culture. His story inspired Norman Bates in Psycho, Leatherface in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and Buffalo Bill in The Silence of the Lambs. Though he killed far fewer people than many other killers, it was the grotesque nature of his crimes, the skin suits, the masks, the house of horrors, that made his name infamous